Okay, Ohanese now are telling the president, they are saying it's our time to pardon Nnamdi Kanu. That enough is enough. Igbo is working freely. Releasing Nnamdi Kanu to further foster unity among Nigeria. They said, Tinubu, do the needful now by pardoning Nnamdi Kanu. And that's the way for peace and unity in the southeast and Nigeria. What's your take on that?
Let me say thank you for having me. I must say that the reason we now see Ohanese Igbo coming out clearly, openly, to start advocating for Nnamdi Kanu is because they are seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Because we saw a king, a monarch from Enugu State, who boldly confronted the man, Tinubu himself, the president, by telling him that if you don't like the face of Nnamdi Kanu, return to Kenya or United Kingdom, where you brought him. And before now, we have seen Israeli assets coming out clearly to extensively discuss the issue of Biafra, IPOB, and even Nnamdi Kanu himself. I'm trying to tell you why Ohanese is not bold enough to come out clearly to start speaking. Though before now, we have seen the governor of Abia State talking about Alesoti, who visited Nnamdi Kanu in Sokoto Correctional Center, and who came out openly to address the world, to say that he was going to leverage on his personal relationship with Tinubu to have Nnamdi Kanu released. Now let me quickly tell you that what Nnamdi Kanu stands for is very clear. Nigerians, the world know what he stands for. And that is the reason you see after they reportedly convicted him, you can see people identifying with him. Tell me word over somebody that you say have been convicted for terrorism. With the word, even the sitting governor start going to visit him. It's going to show you that people do not believe in the trial and conviction. Because ordinarily, it should not be possible that you see a sitting governor going to visit him. You are seeing Israeli Nasser, their parliament discussing about him. You are seeing globally, even in the United States of America, you are seeing a state giving him an honorary citizenship. So it got to show you that the world do not believe in what the court did. Even recently, we have seen so many angles, so many countries where even IPOB did rally openly to show you that the world do not even agree with the proscription of IPOB as a terrorist group. But there's no way you can tell me that a place like Germany, Russia, United Kingdom, US, Italy, France, name it, you see IPOB members with their flags openly. Nobody's arresting them. Even before now, we saw Biafrans gathered in Latin Finland, where they openly declare Biafra to the glare of the press. Nobody was arrested, nobody handed, and this is international media with foreign government that even have better intel than Nigeria. So I think it speaks one thing that Ohanese is now coming out to speak. It's very clear. They are only speaking because they have seen that the world is speaking. They have seen that it's no longer golden to keep silence. Because before now, nobody used to hear from Ohanese Igbo. They have always been silent. I think the even major reason they had this boldness to even come out and start speaking is because of that monarch from Enugu, who came out clearly to tell even Tinubu to his face that if you don't like the face of Nnamdi Kanu, return to Kenya or return to United Kingdom.
Because nothing Igbo almost, it even Nnamdi Kanu did what half of what Igbo did, but see what Igbo is moving freely now. Do you not think APC and Tinubu have been tribalistic as regards Nnamdi Kanu's vote?
That is that part of double standard we often refer to in this part of the world. Because coming to look at it, though Sonny Boy is somebody I respect so much because of his ideology, though I'm not comfortable with his position currently, a situation of where he's already wearing APC cap. But before now, I so much cherish his agitation and what he stood for. However, that double standard is not healthy for a country like Nigeria that is so that have a plural nature like this. Because what is expected that if before now we had a situation where Court of Appeal in Abuja ruled that Nnamdi Kanu was extraordinarily renditioned from Kenya to Nigeria, and even at some point we saw Kenyan courts ruling that the manner through which Nnamdi Kanu was brought back to Nigeria was illegal. And as such, they fined those who were complicit in it. So all these are enough indices that have aided the government in doing the right thing. And let me tell you another thing. If you could recall, during the trial of Nnamdi Kanu, before the final judgment, you heard Nnamdi Kanu repeatedly, constantly asking the judge, do you have a right to waive my right of final written address? And the judge was saying he can go for appeal. In a nutshell, if you are prosecuting someone, it is the person is supposed to be given every liberty, every right to prove his innocence. But in this case, Nnamdi Kanu was denied the right of the right of his final written address. Because even if you say he was not represented by a lawyer, yes, he is aware, he know that he needed to write his final address to address the court. The court ought to listen to his final address, but that was not the case, and the court overruled him and they delivered judgment. Then the question is a good thing that Nnamdi is now coming up to speak. But let us hope that those in the political angle will do the right thing. But another unfortunate issue is we seldom see political class from the southeastern part of the country coming up to speak, apart from Alex Oti. Talking about governors like Hope Uzodinma of Imo State, Soludo of Anambra State, Mufuru of Ebonyi State, Peter Mba of Enugu State. One would have expected that they should have come out to add their own voice to what is at stake. You saw what the monarch from Enugu told the president, that nobody from the East, the youth, do not believe them. That even as they were there, that they would think they have got there to collect money. So I think it's very clear. The world know that the people are with Nnamdi Kanu. That is best explain the reason you saw that mammoth crowd that gathered when they heard that Nnamdi Kanu freedom rally in Abia State. Well, of course, you would led some people who are lovers of freedom to protest in favor of the release of the Nnamdi Kanu. But I'm going to tell you that the global attention the thing is getting is part of what is triggering local attention at the level of Nnamdi. Because apart from what we just saw from Israeli assets, we have seen, like I mentioned, the former U.S. ambassador, Sam Brownback, who came out clearly to say, divide the country. And apart from that, we have seen a whole lot of activities where even a Biafran submitted a letter to Hawk Convention. And this is a convention that empowers any sovereign state to have conversation, to negotiate, to discuss with other nations, other sovereign states on equal power. So it's going to show that even the people are pushing, even in the absence of the man Nnamdi Kanu. I think that was explain the reason some people will tell you that the struggle is bigger than any individual. I think that is what that explains. Because since the man that have been incarcerated, the activities surrounding agitation for the sovereign state of Biafra have not ceased. And whether we like it or not, when it comes to agitation for sovereign state of Biafra through self-determination, is a law that has been ratified in Nigeria, though an international treaty, talking about the UN Charter and African Charter that talks about self-determination. Those two charters have been ratified in Nigeria. So to that extent, they are already a law in Nigeria legal jurisprudence. So if somebody relies on them to talk about Biafra sovereignty, the person have not committed any no offense or crime, whether locally or internationally. And if that was explain the reason in all the prosecution of Nnamdi Kanu, you will not see anywhere they say he committed any offense or committed any offense because of self-determination. Because even the government know that it's a right. So for me, I must say it's good a thing that Nnamdi is waking up now. We want to believe that they will push, they should leverage on their positions to equally push Southeastern governors into action, so that at the end of the day, Nnamdi Kanu can work as a free man again. doing recently, who came out clearly talking about Sam Brownback, who came out clearly to say for the sanctity of human life in Nigeria that there's every need to allow people go their separate ways. Don't forget that my own personal opinion has always been that God by providence never created Nigeria as one, judging by a unified factor that goes by the language, seeing that the Hausas, the Igbos, the Yorubas, the Fulanis, and other ethnic minorities have their unique different languages by providence. But I think it's good we listen to this man before we go further, because for me, such information is good that the public should get a understanding of it. Because if we allow the people, our viewers to have a first-hand information of how it's coming, I think it will go a long way to make the world know that the world is already paying attention to what is happening in Nigeria, because Nigeria have already come to a global stage as a result of the essence of these Fulani militias. But let our viewers listen to him. We'll come back to further this conversation.
Okay, that was a good speech by this intel. But necessarily the federal government, anybody Tinubu to do the needful, because this Fulani said this is just the beginning, and they are beginning to regroup the more. These people are desperate to prove that they have what it takes to Islamize Nigeria as a country. But just like what everybody I'm saying, do you not think it's our time the country is divided? Because when people are being fired innocently, being killed, randomly, and unexpectedly, do you not think Nigeria as a nation should be questioned?
To be quite honest with you, what is happening is like a blessing in disguise. Because whether we like it or not, these same Fulani elements, they are the ones that ab initio reported themselves to the United States of America. Because before now, America and the US Congress and even European Union Congress or other parliament never knew that there was this problem in Nigeria, and they were not discussing it. But as a result of their nefarious activities, their consistent and repeated firing of Nigerians is one that brought the attention of the world into Nigeria. So with what they are doing currently, it is reporting themselves to the international community. Do not forget that even as we speak, we have a bill before the US Congress, co-sponsored by Congressmen Raleigh Moore and Chris Smith, talking about Nigerian Religious Freedom and Accountability Act of 2026 that seek to designate the Fulani militias as terrorist organizations. That even seek to sanction Mietiala. We understand that Mietiala is an umbrella body of the Fulanis, cattle raiders and cattle breeders in Nigeria. So whether we like it or not, they are reporting themselves to the United States of America. They are reporting themselves to Oval Office. So at the end of the day, when the wrath of America will come, I want to believe that they will not have anybody to blame. Because even when we saw America coming at the first instance to partner with Nigeria, we quickly saw a Shegumi from nowhere that said Nigeria should stop that partnership. But this is a man who never called for the arresting, prosecuting of these Fulani terrorists who have been wreaking havoc with reckless abandon, who never saw any need to cease fire, who do not have respect for the sanctity of human life. So whether we like it or not, they have decided to use their hands to report themselves to the international arena.
But yesterday we saw Shegumi attacking Alex Babi. He said, why would the federal government allow Alex Babi? He said, why would the government allow Alex Babi to come and give, religion speech, a speech that can cause war or ignite war in Nigeria? Do you not think if this man is arrested or fired by these northern, vampires, do you not think this will finally make US government angry with Tinubu and his government?
Even the Alex itself that come out clearly recently to say that Trump is aware that he's in Nigeria. Yes, of course, that America is backing him. That should anything happen to him, that Nigeria will hear from America. So I think it's very clear. And this is a man who is not afraid of anybody. Though I do not expect him to be afraid of anybody, because he's speaking truth to power. You could clearly see him in Benue, in Plateau, addressing citizens of Nigeria. And what he's saying is exactly what Nigerians have been saying, and nobody will agree to listen to Nigerians. Because he's questioning the rationale of denying Christian genocide in the face of the obvious. I think that is what those who are supporting this heinous crime do not want to hear. So for me, I want to believe that what he's saying is the truth, and that if the government or anybody that feel that they are not comfortable with what he's saying or his action should go and address his concerns. Because his concern is simple: protect the people. This is a man who have come all the way from United States of America to Nigeria with so much resources, rebuilding places that have been burned down by Fulani terrorists, bringing hope to the hopeless. Do not forget that whether we like it or not, these are supposed to be part of responsibility of the government. But here is an individual who is not even a Nigerian, who have God-fearing heart, who have even deployed resources to start doing what the government ought to do. Yet you see some Nigerians criticizing him. But good thing, he's a fearless man. He's not ready to back down. He has said it, that the American government is aware that he's here. And even that Trump himself is aware that he's here, that if should anything happen to him, that it comes with consequence. I want to believe that Nigerians are with him, particularly patriotic Nigerians. The same way the patriotic Nigerians stood with the government against Shegumi. Because when the government came out to say, we want to partner with America, I want to tell you that every patriotic Nigerian saw the need for that partnership. The only thing is that Nigerians are eagerly waiting for that partnership to start yielding results. We want to hope and believe that that same precision bombing that happened to terrorists, the Lakurawa terrorist group in Tangaza local government area of Sokoto State on that Christmas day, we happen to have a similar bombing of terrorist groups in other places of the country. Why should somebody like the terror leader, Tony Bello, Adaleru, why should they still be living? As far as I'm concerned, people have outlived their usefulness.
Do you think the government know whereabouts of these people? Do you think the government knows their whereabouts? And just leaving them to go. A lot of people say these people, they know these government officials. That's why they're confident doing what they are doing.
Of course, we saw a Shegumi the other time that came out to say that the government know the bandits by their names, that the government know where they stay. And nobody have come out from the government angle to debunk that impression. But another thing that baffles Nigerians has to do with the way and manner the government play like an attitude sequel to prosecuting the terrorist financiers. You understand that even under Muhammad Buhari, United Arab Emirates reportedly gave an intel to the Nigerian government as it has to do with those who sponsor terrorism. But unfortunately, the government of Muhammad Buhari do not do enough to arrest and prosecute those who were fingered. Then we were thinking that this government would see things differently, but unfortunately, even with what is happening from the angle of the Minister of Defense, talking about Christopher Musa, who told the world, who told Nigerians that he was going to investigate the circumstances surrounding the withdrawal of military personnel who were guiding Kevin's crew or before the attack and abduction of the school children, who gave the order for their withdrawal. As we speak, Christopher Musa has not been able to tell Nigerians or the world the extent of his investigation, whether he's still investigating or he have abandoned that project. But I want to say that if Nigeria, through the office of Christopher Musa, that is the Minister of Defense, is able to get to the root of who gets such order, isolate such person if he's a military personnel, court-martial that person, try that person, maybe dismiss from the military, try in the regular court, it will go a long way in helping to fight terrorism. Because one of the best approach to fighting terrorism is when you arrest perpetrators, when you arrest those who want to perpetrate it before they commit the crime, when you arrest those who sponsor terrorism, when you arrest those who move arms and ammunition for them, when you arrest those who give them intel, is the best way, because that way you are nipping the crime in the bud. But unfortunately, like I said earlier on, the man, Christopher Musa, have not been able to live up to the expectation of Nigerians, because this is a man who we all celebrated his appointment. But whether we like it or not, this intel that this American important personality have brought out have in a way helped even Biafra to block imminent attack of the region by these terrorists. Do not forget that even as we speak, in 2024, the BHR approached the Southeastern governors with a proposal to have BHR vigilante group in the Southeastern region. A region that is alien to you, that is not your region, you are coming up with some proposal. And these are the same people who tell you that they don't want state police. Yet, they want to go and have security arrangements, vigilante in someone else's ancestral communities. Though the Southeastern governors rejected it and turned down the offer,